Alright, this is Dustin Glidewell, and I'm going to show you like a quick little overview of this PipBoy that I've made. I use the Adafruit, I use their files, and they have a somewhat complete instruction guide here. There are a few differences in mine though, and then I'm going to go through those and show you in this video. The first thing I'm going to show you is the screen. Now obviously I used a screen from a different device. I used a 3.5 inch TFT display from a backup camera that you can find on Amazon for about $15 or so. And then I kind of hacked it and wired it into the Raspberry Pi. You can't see it, but it's on the underside of it for a component out. Now there are how-tos to do this on the Game Boys that they build with Raspberry Pis in them, so I'm not going to go through that specifically, but it's basically just 2 wires for the video and then 2 wires for power. And then there is a modification, as you can see there, that I've done to make it to where it'll run off 5 volts as opposed to, I believe, 12 is what it was set up for. But all that stuff's on the Game Boy stuff, so you just kind of look those up and then you'll find that. But one of the big things that I've made, big changes I made, is I am using a Raspberry Pi Zero. Now in the original instruction manual they ask you to use a Raspberry Pi Model B, but I'm not doing that because since the instruction guide was made, the Raspberry Pi Zero's come out, and as you can see it gives me a lot more room to do things other than just pile it with electronics. So that's one change that I made. Another change is that instead of purchasing, their pre-soldered battery that they have on the how-to guide, I made my own. Now this is not the one that I used. These are 18650 batteries that I harvest from laptop batteries. But I soldered my own. Now one thing you've got to be aware of is that on their Power Boost 1000 that is on the parts list, it's their JST connector is wired backwards, so the positive is actually the ground, and so keep that in mind when you're making your own. Just flip it around on the soldering and then make the wires run correctly in here. A few things that they don't really kind of gloss over in the instruction manual is the screws they use. Now I use 3/8 and 5/8 length number 4 self-tapping screws, as you can see here. If my thing will ever focus on something besides stains. Anyways, I use those and they self-tap pretty good. Just got to be real careful, and when you first start to tap them in, you got to make sure they're square. Other than that, they'll kind of run off to the side and could get out of control, and it may not have a good fit and finish when you're done. Something I've noticed on their thing that they have is obviously on a Raspberry Pi Zero, it does not have the outputs over here. Instead, my HDMI is here, and my USB is here, and my power is here, which I've kind of rigged up with this Power Boost 1000. But I found these on Amazon. They're 90-degree wiring extenders. So what I'll do is I'll plug this in here before I put it together for final assembly. I'll plug this one in here. I'm going to have to do with both hands, I'm sorry. Anyways, you get the idea. I'll put those in here, and then I made this little Delrin cap that will go right here, and then I'll glue those in. That way the end of it's flush, or maybe sticks out a little bit here, and I'm not having a big gaping hole here on the side. Something else that I've done that they had different on their how-to manual is instead of using a rotary encoder, I've put a power switch here, and that goes to the Power Boost 1000C instead of the little bitty teeny tiny micro switch size that they have suggested for here. So doing this, I was able to find this at my local Home Depot, and you just need a single pole switch that test it, and when you flip it on, it comes on. When you turn it off, let's see what else I got. Oh, for my armband, the magnets, they suggest using 1/4 inch magnets, and they're an 1/8 inch thick. I couldn't find any of those at my local Home Depot, so I had to order them online, and they were pretty pricey, but I did find another set at my Home Depot. It was about I want to say $3 for the same neodymium rare earth magnets that they offer. So if you have any kind of 3D printing experience, you may want to make these holes larger and then use those magnets instead. I don't have the specific part number. I'll try to include it in the comments. For the padding, I use this air conditioner weather seal, and it's 1 1/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch, and I just cut little strips there, and I'm going to lay it right here and then hot glue them down. I'm going to put 3 strips here. The person that's getting this from me is a kind of a smaller framed female, so she's not going to have, you know, big arms that's going to fill up this whole space. And I have what I like to call smaller arms for a male. You know, not sissy arms, but whatevs. But it fits me fairly loosely as well. But down here, you can tell that, you know, sometimes it'll pinch my hair when those halves snap together. So that's another thing that you must kind of keep in mind. Other than that, you know, the wiring going to your speaker sounds good. If you could come up with some sort of filter that goes before the output onto the amplifier here, because sometimes it does have a little scratchy sound, you know, when you're first booting up, and you can kind of tell that it's not loud, but, you know, some audiophiles out there may be upset, but, you know, you got to realize that it's coming out of a 1 1/2 inch speaker here. As you can see, I've changed the output to the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi. I believe that's 18. I'm not sure exactly. There's like one for 18, one for 13. That's if you get the image file that's downloaded on there, and you go on look for component audio out for Raspberry Pi Zero, it'll show you that stuff. And then, you know, obviously I got my power going to the PowerBoost 1000C. But other than that, I mean, you know, I've painted it custom colors. I've still got some stuff I want to do to it. I'm not going to use a dial over here. I'm going to have a flip switch, and that's going to control an LED here. And I may put an LED here just to give kind of some sort of, you know, ambiance of, you know, fallout, nuclear fallout, maybe like a green LED that'll make this the end glow or something. I'm not sure. I need to figure out what I want to do here. I haven't really considered, you know, making a sticker or anything like that. I've thought about filling it up with amber and making it have like look like an old tube TV dial. The same for here. I want to fill it up with like a clear epoxy and, you know, kind of make it look like a 3D image, paint it on here, and then, you know, do a couple layers and then paint something else, so it has kind of a shadow effect on this. Then after that, I'm just going to weather it using some sort of probably some sort of acrylic. Just, you know, rub on there, and then you know, clear coat the whole thing. Obviously I gotta coat my screen with either tape or cut a little plastic shim there for that. But other than that, I mean, you know, they've got a fairly decent how-to guide on the Adafruit site, so I suggest going there and, you know, supporting those people. Just, you know, buying as much as you can from them. You know, the PowerBoost 1000C and the amplifier and the speaker, you know, they offer it on their site. You can build one fairly cheaply here, you know, it's just got to be a little resourceful sometimes. My 3D printer, I had a friend of mine 3D print this for me. Mine's not as good as his, and currently it's actually not working. So he was able to help me here. He told me a few tips and tricks that on theirs you can barely see the lines. But he actually had to split this into 3 pieces. You know, you can see the line here and kind of right in here. He had to print those in 3 pieces. Other than that, it would have taken 26 hours, I believe he said, to print, and, you know, he got it done fairly quickly. So, you know, just if you do 3D print it off, or, you know, pay somebody to 3D print it off, you may want to keep that in mind, that it may take a little longer as designed than if you were able just, you know, to manipulate those images, or I mean the files to your own printer. But other than that, if y'all have any questions, I'm going to try to put as many things in the link as I can, especially these little 6-inch 90 degree. You can buy the wrong ones. You can buy the left or the right, so, you know, be sure you know which way it is oriented before you purchase the USB and the HDMI outputs. Alright, thank you guys. Happy building.